Hello and welcome. These are horse racing selections for Friday, the 17th of February. I am Flat Cap Callum and I'm hoping you are all very, very well. All right, for the dismay of some and hopefully joy for most, I'm still here. I'm still trying, folks. Oh, gosh, dearie me. What can we say? Now, as you know, I will always give you context. Whether we're winning well, I will give you context. And in this case, if we are losing badly, I will give you context. Always context, because context is key. So it was not good, again, from a profit and loss point of view. I would say for the second day in a row, luck was nowhere near us. Nowhere near. So yeah, we didn't have a good one. So just to be clear, so I can tell you what we will do today. We have got for Friday selections is £25 stake and a quarter. There's quite a bit to have a little look at really. So I've got a little bit of volume going on there. 6 bets for £25. I've spread the stake out quite a bit. There's nothing too complicated. So sometimes 6 bets. I've all done all sorts of funny things. They're very straightforward. All bets are very straightforward to do, pretty much, I would say. So £25, and we are lacking in big prices for Friday. I don't think Friday is a big price day. That's how I read it, and I want to be super clear. That's not me saying, "Oh, I'm playing it safe," because it's not been going so well. If the prices are there, they were there on Wednesday. I felt to have a go at. We got a couple. There was a couple of 20 odd to 1, 22 and 25 to 1 shots that didn't do much wrong other than get beaten by another horse by half a length. So we had a couple of ones on Wednesday. Friday, my read is I don't think it's a big price day. I'm not saying there's no big price is going to go in anywhere, but predominantly, it's not where I read the market. Which is, you can take my opinion for what it's worth. But so we'll get on to that. First race, 150 Lingfield. Should say 150 Lingfield is the first race. But yeah, so what happened yesterday? Yesterday or Thursday, depending when you're watching the video. Get my words out. 15 on 259 back. I mean, that's no good, is it? So yeah, it's not been a pretty start to the week. That being said, I'll give you a context piece. We are 7p higher return this week for 2 days than we were last week for 4 days. So as much as this week's profit and loss is bad, last week I felt like it was a particularly horrendous week. This week we've had 2 days where I think we've had no luck. So I don't think the selections, although the results don't show it, I don't think the selections were too far out the way the last 2 days, and that is a positive I will take. I'm less keen on the 7p return more than last week. So overall for the year, the channel stats I've got it as 103 behind. Now that sounds terrible. I've lost £103 this year in 6 and a bit weeks. It's obviously not good, is it? There's obviously context of last year. That's a nice bit of context to have. And if I was starting out the channel, it will be bad. Last year, if you look at the figures, the worst run we had, if you just took the 4 week as a 4 week period, a point in June, beginning of July, where we took £180 hit. So from where we were, over that 4 week period, and it was actually a little bit worse than that if you look at the individual days. But at points, if you just took the 4 week period, we had 4 weeks in a row where in total we were down £180 at one point. So we've had worse periods of time. We had 2 periods of time in the whole of last year where we were down, again, if you look at the period of time, about £120 to £130. So the context here is that £103 is not a very good place to be in, but we had 3 periods of time that were worse than this. So if you think it's bad now, it could get worse. And that's why this game is not for everybody. You've got to have patience and perseverance to keep trying what you're doing. I know what I do long term will pay, but it's not obvious, certainly not for anyone who's fairly new. So yeah, context says that there's 3 periods of time where we were worse than we are now. So I'm preparing you that it's not as bad as that, but also it could get worse. The 2 bits of the information I think make it worse and feel worse, because it feels bad to me, is number one, it's the start of the year. So I reset the stats clock. So the stats clock was set at 0 from 1st of January. So since the start of the year, That makes it feel bad. So we haven't made any money this year. We've lost money, and we've lost just over 5 days stake worth of money. The other bit with it is it's over quite a sustained period of time where we've been lacking good days. We always would have more bad days than good, but we've had far more bad days than good, and therefore that's sort of racking up that feeling of it's going terribly. So yeah, that's all my preamble. I'm not here to defend myself. I'm not about that, because I'm offering a free service, and I'm not trying to tell you that I'm a wizard and I can pull things out of hats and all that sort of stuff. I'm offering a free service, and you take my view. Yeah, I'm not telling you I'm here to make you millions and millions of pounds. I've set this up to try and help people, to educate people, to have a bit of fun, and if we make profit along the way, winner. That's what this is about. And we're doing it by trying to find value in a market, which is not easy to do, and certainly has not been great at the beginning of this year. Okay, I think we'll get on to the actual review very quickly. So why did I believe it was unlucky? Newcastle was literally almost half the runners withdrew because they overnight changed the ground from good to soft in places to good to firm in places, and quite understandably a lot of trainers pulled their horses out. So we had a spate of non-runners. It hit that race, so it went down from whatever it was, 11 runners to 6, I think it was. So the horse took a significant Rule 4 20p deduction, but it was backed in, which it was masked by that. So it went off 3-1. And was a gallant second. Just dug deep, to be fair, to stay for second place. So we started off right there. So we thought maybe despite the Rule 4, we've got a place to start this bet. Little token, book for a place, and second day in a row we had a horse that, yesterday it was fell. This one shit the jockey off on the last. We've had a few of that. I think that's 3 I can remember in 7 days. Where the jockey went on the last fence, or the horse went down the last fence. So unfortunate, but then it didn't really matter because that horse ran well, but was only 4th, and we needed 3rd for most bookies, and Sporting Mike was a bit disappointing. So it ended up being pence back from there. Then this was the risky one. That horse fell at the last. It wasn't going to place, I don't think, unless it had a dramatic staying on period at the end. It wasn't going to start. It wasn't going to. Not great. Ultra Viers, that got really backed in. I think it was 14, 16-1, something like that. Ran a decent enough race, but couldn't hold it out and finished 4th, and we needed top 3. So not bad from a horse that was originally 66-1. Again, there was a Rule 4, and then we had a non-runner in that one. And then we finished off at Chelmsford, and again I would say the luck was out Chelmsford. That horse was clearly fancied. It went off at 4-1, but for whatever reason it didn't pick up enough in the straight to make up any ground. So it was a close enough up 5th, but we needed top 3. So after getting back into 4-1, the key here is I'm on the value, so I'm finding value in these races. So 11-1 might not have looked a massive price, but 4-1 clearly there was value in the price. El Hombre was 4th, but only counted for Sky. Crazy Spin was 2nd, but we hit a Rule 4 on that one. And then Pillars of Earth got backed into 9-2, and then really sadly broke down in the home straight. So yeah, we never got a true run, but we had 2 horses there, 11s into 4 and 14s into 9-2, and you're thinking, well, maybe, but no. So yeah, luck was out. Right. So, Friday, if you're still here, if you're still with me, I appreciate the naysayers. I completely understand why those people exist, and why they would say some doubting things. And I will never ever try and defend what I'm doing. I will just explain what I'm doing, and that is the point. I'm not here to have a battle with someone. I'm not going to start an argument with somebody on YouTube. My life is far more interesting than having an argument on a YouTube comment channel. But if people say things that are factually accurate, I will pull them up on it. If people say, your tips aren't great, I would say, yeah, I agree, they aren't great at the moment. I would say there's a bit of context. That's what I'd say. Anywho, right. So prepare yourself for Friday. We've got some smaller prices. And I always feel a bit more vulnerable on smaller prices because people expect more things of them. So if they don't do anything, then people get even more disappointed. Because when I put up 50-1 shots that get beat, people kind of like, well, it's 50-1. What do you expect? When I put 7-1 or 5-1 shots, people are like, well, that should surely do something. There we go. So starting here, Lingfield. This is my Lingfield Lucky. They've all just, not all of them, a couple of them have shortened up a little bit, and it's just made it a little bit less appealing overall. I'm happy with it. It hits my threshold, right? So I have a threshold of what I would put on this channel for a Lucky 15. And I've said this, but long time ago, for me, for a Lucky 15, I need the three shortest prices need to add up to more than 18. So I need more than 3 6-to-1 shots. That's the minimum threshold. That means basically in quick maths, without going into algorithms and stuff and whatever I'm using, what it means is that if you've got at least 3 6-to-1 shots, you're guaranteed, if 3 of them place, to make a profit on the bet. That's how that should work. I normally try and hit 20 for the threshold for the channel. So I'd normally say I need the 3 shortest odds. So here we've got 7.5, 6, and 9. So if you do the maths on that, it's 22.5. 20 is the minimum I would usually use for the channel. Personally, 18. I have a little bit of a different threshold. I'm hoping I haven't lost you. I've tried to make those maths really simple. It's far more complicated than I've just said it out loud, but I've tried to do it broad brush. But my advice to you, if you're putting on Lucky 15s each way, use my rule of 18 is the minimum, but 20 is helpful. It's a helpful minimum bar, because then you know you've got 3 places for profit. Anyway, 150, Susie's Connoisseur, 9-to-1. 220, Dancing in the Woods, Sixers, got a bit short. Wouldn't want to go any shorter really, but 320, Lord Rapscallion 11s, and 450, Be Fair 15-2. 20p each way, Lucky 15. Sky Best, then 365 or Coral are your next best, or Ladbrokes, if you are betting in the morning, would be equally good as 365 and Coral. Sky are winning out on that one only because they've got 5 there and 4 there. Most bookies are 4 there and 3 there. These are standard terms. So that is bet 1. Bet 2. So I haven't got a Dundalk special. Just should be flagging that as well. I haven't got big on Dundalk. Not because I was upset with Dundalk on Wednesday, because actually we had a few things in the right ballpark. I just don't. Friday's Dundalk is nowhere near as good as Wednesday's Dundalk this week. So we've got 235 Meydan, Home City 11-1. That's a really good race. If you've not looked at Meydan, it's I think 17 runners in that handicap. So Sky are 6, a lot of bookies are 5. So have a look at that 235. But generally Meydan's pretty good for Friday. Home City 235, 11-1. 345 Meydan. We took it last time. Tambarada 16-1. It was 4th for us at 20s. We're going again with Tambarada. Then we're going 355 Dundalk, Aurora Nova 20s, finishing off with the smaller one, 530 Dundalk, the Bog Bank, and I'm going to come back to that 530 race at the end. Sky Best, they are one better places on every single one of those races compared to the best other bookies. So you are getting a big Sky advantage if you have got it for this bet specifically. So they are 6, 5, 5 and 5. That is brilliant. As much as I've not found big odds, the place terms are really in favour for Friday. There's a lot of races. If you combine the Dundalk ones, some of the Southwell ones with some of the Meydan ones, and a couple of Lingfield, you've lots of opportunity there. Where mathematically we've got some stuff in our favour. Unfortunately, I haven't found a bunch of big prices, so that's why it doesn't look particularly spectacular. But on paper, it's actually a very good day for a bet. I would say best day of the week. Then bet 3, we're going a bit old school. I haven't put one of these out for a while. I usually like to do trixies on the channel, and the reason I like to do trixies, even if I've got 2 I like, so in this case I've got 2 I like, even if that's the case, I'll try and find a third one that's more of an even money where I think there's value in it, because then I can do a trixie whereby if one of them come up and the even money, you're making a bit of profit on the bet. With these ones, some of you might want to go super safe and put singles on them as well. I wouldn't necessarily do that, but what I would do is I would do them with some sort of shorter price one, because that way if one of them comes up, you're getting a nice return because you're getting a little double up. I couldn't find anything I liked that fitted the bill, so I've just done it as a straight up double. So we've got 335 Kelso, Dancing with the Wind 11-4, and 420 Lingfield Smith 9-4. £1.50 win double. Definitely try and find a bog bookie for that one. So if you're betting tonight, if you've got that with 365 or Coral, do that in the morning. Quite a lot of the others, basically, well, Ladbrokes will do. Paddy, no, because Paddy won't do it on Lingfield. Sky will do if they're not extra place races, which I don't think either of those are. So Sky would do bog if you're doing it in the morning, but not the night before. So from a channel point of view, those are the prices I've got. £1.50 win double. That is what we've got there. Bet 3. And then bet 4. I'm going back grassroots here. So I haven't done one of these for a while. When I started off the channel, I used to do a few more of these. So these are shorter price ones where I think their chances of placing are if you look at the odds of placing here, you're sort of pretty much for most of these looking at kind of even money. I think the chances of them placing are much better than even money. So I've strung them together, but there's a couple in there that I think are unlikely winners because of the horses they're up against. So I'm skipping the singles, and I'm skipping the doubles. I've just got trebles and fourfolds on this. So it's 420 Meydan, away he goes 11-2, 5 places on Sky. 435 Kelso, really hoping that one stays 5 runners. Gabbo Riot 6-1, just 5 runners in that race at Kelso. I think that should be second best. 455 Meydan, Zagre, quite a few runners, but I think that is on form, that is solidly third best. If they run to form, that's grand. If they don't, we've got a problem. And then 7:30, we've taken that a few times at Dundalk. 7:30 Gumama 11-2. So it's 4 times 35p each way trebles and a 35p each way fourfold. So miraculously, if we've got 3 winners, clearly everyone's going to be happy with that one, aren't we? But what we're trying to do here is if you've got 3 places, you should make a little bit of profit on the bet. If all 4 place, then we make a really nice return on it. That's the aim with a bet like this. But you'd have to go back a while since I've done these. When I started, I did them a bit more frequently, so that's what we've got. Bet 4. I should have said Sky are better, and everyone else is about the same. Then bet 5 is my Southwell bet. 445 twist the line 4s. It's really niggled me, this one, because I put a 4-1 shot Lucky 15 and you go, oh, it doesn't do that very often, he must really like it. There's nothing big price in that one, and I just think it's very solid. And I could have put it in the other bet there, but I definitely think that got a chance of getting its head in front, and if I manage to click that with one of these others, then it's worth it from a double point of view. So I've left it in, but it's very short by my standards. 445 twist the line. 7:15 Sun Festival 16-1. The 7:45 I've split legged it. Biplane is A leg 12-1, and Alsa Ale is 17-2 is B leg, and then 8:15 Jack Ryan 16-1, which we've taken before. I did it last time. 2 times 10p each way Lucky 15s. Big flag on this one. 365 are best. 4 places across the board on both 365 and Sky, but bog on 365. So 365 if you've got the choice. If you've not got the choice, then Sky and Hills are both 4 across the board on these, but you won't get bog on accumulators. Okay, that makes sense. And there's a couple of other bookies that aren't too far away where they're paying 4 on most, but not on all. But 365 win out on this one. So 2 times 10p each way Lucky 15s. 1 leg has got biplane and 1's got Ale. I can't never say that was. And then the other 3 are the same. That's £6 bet 5. And then we finished off. I've got a combination double, mostly not covered in Lucky 15s. So 5:30 Dundalk. These are worth a try. So I've got the bog bank. I've taken the bog bank as my solid horse of Lucky 15. Both of these have got potential, but I've just done them in the cross double here. So my little tip at 25 and Yester at 28. Going on to the 8:15. So Jack Ryan as mentioned, and I've put Final Frontier in there. So it's 4 times 25p each way doubles. £2 is our bet. That is bet 6. Sky are best, but only because they're 5 there. Most other bookies are 4 and 4. Sky are 5 and 4, and I think in a bet like this, having that 5th place could be helpful. So Sky advised. Everyone else is the same. All right, that is it. So that is Friday's plan of attack. With lose or draw, I'll be back. But yes, for those of you who remember the options of the backup options, if it goes really bad and I might not show my face, I'm tempted at the backup options if we're still bad running into the weekend. But yeah, I'm just hoping that selections have been in the right ballpark, but luck has been nowhere the last 2 days. If we can change our luck and the selections stay in the right place, then we hopefully can come out with something a bit better from Friday, because none of us want another heavy loss day, because the morale will just go through the floor. And I really, really appreciate everybody who is keeping the faith, can see the context, and is disciplined enough to follow as is, and can see that yes, we are £100 down for January, but if you were betting in December, we won like I think it was 400 and something, and not everybody, because some of it was Sky specific, but everyone came out ahead in December. So the context of that yeah, between January and February we're not good, but even in that 2.5 month period it's not so bad. But yeah, if it doesn't change soon, I think people will forget the last time I won and just switch off, which I completely get. All right, that's me. It's a long video. Apologies, didn't mean to be that long. And anyway, I'll be back on Saturday morning, or I should say, I'll quickly say this. Back on Saturday morning, usual gig. Freebets.com will be out about 8:30. Regular channel will be out about, it has to be out by 10:30 because I've got to go out. So out by 10:30. But my next Cheltenham Festival ante-post video for my main channel, so then all the novice races, I'm planning to get that out tomorrow evening. So the next video you'll see uploaded, if you're a subscriber, so if you want to subscribe and get all of the up-to-date alerts, you just press the subscribe button and it gives you a little bell icon. You don't need to put any personal details. I don't know who you are. Just literally subscribing means you get a notification to say that the next video is available, so you don't have to keep flicking back on. Anywho, the Cheltenham one's going to be out tomorrow evening at some point. And then I'll be back on regular videos on Saturday. All right, I think that's it. Thank you very much. Appreciate you staying up late, and I'll be back. Will you see me tomorrow night for Cheltenham, or Saturday morning if not? Cheerio. Bye bye.